Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Astra, and on today's Astra's brain injury, have you ever wondered what happens when you have a brain injury and you have a slip and fall or you have an MVA? Will your symptoms subside or will they get bigger? Well, let me tell you, this is what happened to me. So we know my accident was back in 2014 of November. And, I was getting better. I was doing my treatments and, I was not stuttering the way that I used to stutter, when I first had my first MVA. And when I had my slip and fall, and my practitioners saw me, and I went to see my different various practitioners, and they saw how my slip and fall regressed me. They cursed. Like they were just cursing because I was doing things that I was doing at the very beginning when they first met me. And it wasn't easy because I found that I was doing my word finding. I could not find the right words to say in order to express what was going on. And I was very emotional, y'all. I would just start to bawl as I'm trying to explain to my practitioners what is going on. I would just burst into tears and start crying, So it was very, very stressful. It was very emotional. I was so, like, my anxiety levels just went through the roof because I was unable to formulate my words. And I knew the struggle that I went through when I was first injured with my first MVA and my brain injury, and found out about this. And to see that a slip and fall did this to me, re-injured. So it's like I got concussed again, and everything that I went through from before happened all over again and even more. So I was, if you see me out in about in the streets, I'm always wearing shades, y'all. And I found that the processing coming through from my eyes was worse. And when I was out in the store, I'll give you this example. I was out in the store and I was walking with my husband. So we were at the grocery store, and all of the employees was coming to through on the exit Costco. So it was Costco. And I was behind of him. I held onto his shoulder and his arm, and I had to put my head on the back of him and just ask him. I said, please, can you just stop, just wait. And I had to just stay like this while everybody was just coming through, because it was so much information all at once coming into my eyes. And it was like my brains could not handle that coming in. And so I don't want to say I was petrified, but it put me in a panic. Like it put me in a panic, and I did not know what to do. And my husband's like, "Oh, Astrid, you're gonna be fine." And I waited until the slew of all the people coming in pass by. And then afterwards, I was just like, and then after the, okay. And so we were able to leave. Now, I gave you that story to let you know that when you have a brain injury and your processing is all over the place, and then now you get re-injured, it's even farther out than where you expecting it to be. And I was unable to control myself in the sense of, you can look at something and you can look, walk, and come back and you're fine. I could not do that. I could not control the words to come out of my mouth in the right way. So I began to stutter all over again. And they wanted me to see the neurologist, my practitioners. They had wanted me to see the neurologist again because they were concerned when I'm trying to have a conversation with them and I'm trying to formulate the words. Again, that processing. What's in your head here to come out of your mouth here is in a disconnect. So I had that disconnect again. And it's like, you're playing a tennis game and back and forth, you knock the ball back and forth like this, the birdie ball, whichever. But I'm knocking it and it's just going. And I'm looking for it and it's just going and it ain't coming back. So this is where I was at again, all over again. And so it really set me back. And once again, as I said, that stuttering, I was back again to stuttering. I was back again to word finding. I was back again to the headaches being even worse than what they were, because it seems like when you have a brain injury, it's like you have an egg. The story that they tell you, Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall and he had a great fall and all the king horses and all the king's men couldn't put him back together again. This is how my brains felt. So from that slip and fall, from my first brain injury incident, then to my slip and fall that I had, that destroyed me from where I was making progress. So, you're getting and you're coming and, you're seeing an end in sight and you're getting all happy. Then this happens and just throws you back. It was angering. I'm going to tell you, I was angry and it was frustrating and it felt like, I don't want to say like, what's the point, but it felt like I'm not going to be able to get out of this. So it began to put a fear in me that I was fearful to go back into that store. I was fearful to go into any of that stores, those franchises. I couldn't do it because I was fearful of the fact that, I go into that place and I'm going to fall and then I'm going to be concussed again. And I didn't want that to happen. And once again, nightmares. I was beginning to have, it elevated my PTSD. It elevated my anxiety. It elevated everything for me. And I felt like it was going to destroy me. I mean, so up to this day, I do not go into that store. Up to this day, I'll go into other branches, but the one where I had that slip and fall, I do not go into it. I've never gone back into that store. First of all, the people was very rude to me, and that too just had a negative connotation of how that situation was handled. But suffice it to say, I've gotten better. My anxiety went down. My stuttering, that went. And working with my practitioners and everything like that. The thing is, from that slip and fall, it extended so say if I was going to have 3 days, it extended me to 15 days. I'm just giving you an example, just pulling numbers up out of it's not a factual number, but I'm just giving you, and it extended the time for me. And I was so angry, y'all. Like, I was really angry because I do not like knowing that I do not have an end date in sight. And when you have been on this rat race, you're on that hamster wheel and you're going, because I was going to practitioners Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 appointments a day. This is how bad it was for me. And going to that many appointments Monday through Friday, I felt like I didn't even have time for myself. And then for this to take place, the slip and fall, I was angry. Y'all, I was angry because when you're seeing, I'm seeing a little bit of myself again. And I'm beginning to like what I'm seeing again. You're feeling happy. But when now this takes place, it just, like I said, I was angry. I really was angry. And then, years later, I was in another MVA. I was like, sweet Jesus, not again. And, so when you think that your brains is getting a chance of healing, something else comes in and just kiboshes that. And then it changes. Now you're back to square one all over again. I mean, you know what it's like to be there where you were, and you're thinking, okay, well, if I just put in more and more and more, because this was my mindset. I'm thinking to myself, if I just put in more and do more, I'll be able to get better. But that's a negative thing for your brains. I'm telling y'all, because your brains needs a break. It needs a chance of rest. Your brains really needs rest. And when you are involved in an accident, and then you get reconcussed, and then reconcussed again, and reconcussed again, your brains begins to think differently, because mine did. I began to think differently. You don't want to drive 20 miles an hour when you really should be driving 60 miles an hour, 60 kilometers an hour. And so it changes your mindset. As I said, your PTSD goes through the roof, and then you've got to now chip yourself off of the ceiling, so to speak, to come back down on the ground so that you can be able to be like, okay, this is not going to happen all the time. There may be crazy drivers out there, but it doesn't mean that they're going to come in and hit me. I can go outside of my house and I'm not going to slip and fall, right? So you've got to work through, well, not you, I had to work through these things because, as I said, it was really hard, y'all. It was really hard. And when you get that reconcuss, it's like you're thrown back at the beginning. Now, who likes that? Not me. sure enough, not me. I'm like, no, sir, I do not want to repeat that again. But I had to repeat it again. And I mean, I could have fought against it and be like, not a bit of that. No, sorry, I'm done with my practitioners. I'm done with everybody. I'm done with, because there's days where I felt like that, then I was just like, I'm done. No, no. And then there was days where I was like, no, I need to get to the end. I want this done. I really need this done. And so I had to fight with myself, fight within, and fight against myself when I do remember. And that's the next thing, because my, like, the ringing in my ears and all that kind of a stuff, the unbalance, oh my gosh, like it just shook everything. Because when you have a brain injury, you're already unsteady to begin with, because I had to hold on to everything. Like, I used to use the cart, like the shopping cart, as my walker, and then I'm walking like literally like this, y'all, because I was learning how to walk again. And it was, as I said, it's horrific to have that happen, to have any kind of accident, to re-injure yourself. It's not an easy feat. You feel defeated. Well, I felt defeated. I can't tell you what you're feeling. But for how I was feeling very defeated. Like I said, I was angry. I was angry because I see that I'm making some progress. I see that I'm getting, a little bit better. And then for this to take place, tell y'all, I was just hot. Honestly, I was just hot. I was so mad. Like, I was just angry. And then, as I said, just everything. Like, for me, when I first had my accident, if you just put your hand to your head, that could set me off my nerves. Like, I was just, what? What are you putting your hand to your head for, kind of the thing? Like, it just makes me angry. And I don't know if it's because it was the movement and then my eyes is not seeing properly. So I was like, that sets me off my nerves. And then, that was coming down. It was not all the way up here, but it was coming down a little ways. And then to have that slip and fall, and, because it hit my head and boom, it just set me off my nerves. Like, I was just so mad. So, I mean, there is going to be times, hopefully, that you might come close to, but it won't happen. But for me, it did happen, and it was not an easy thing. As I said, I found, and I'm not an angry individual. I'm one I can laugh. Sweet Jesus, you'll hear me laughing like so many times. Like, I'm coming in to tell you like a little secret. No, but I'm not a kind of an individual. I'm a happy individual, and to see that I was becoming angry, you know, it's not easy. And again, I would be telling my family, y'all want me to lose my mind. Like, I feel like I'm going to lose my mind. And it's not a good feeling. Like, you feel like your mind is snapping and you've got no control over it. And I don't like that. Like, I like to know that, okay, I want to go do this. Not that I'm going to forget this. You're going to say, oh, Astra, can you bring me this? And I'm just going to walk down the way and come back. And then afterwards, I'm like, you're like, say, did you bring that? I'm like, what? No. What are you talking about? You didn't ask me anything. I don't like that. I mean, it still happens today, y'all. But rest assured, there is a little bit of hope. Like, keep working with your practitioners is all I can say. That's what I did. I worked with my practitioner. I'm still seeing practitioner up to this day now. And this has been This is like the 11th year, and I'm still seeing practitioners. The thing is, it's going to take as long as it's going to take. you know, it is not going to be easier. I mean, you know where you were before the accident, you know where you were after the accident, you know now where you are after being re injured. So you kind of know, oh, okay, I'll be able to go a little bit faster. Like I know what I need to do. When I see that I am wanting to lose my mind, let me go to my little sanctuary and find a little peace there. Because that's another thing. My family don't know when I disappeared. I literally have a garden in my bedroom, y'all. I do. Like I planted any and everything that my hands could get on. I grew corn in my bedroom and all. Like seriously, that's for another video. Like when I do talking about like coping mechanisms that I use. But I did. My family don't know. All of a sudden we're all here and poof, Astrid disappeared. And I'm upstairs in my room and I am, just looking at the garden that I have going on, checking whether how the eggplant is coming or whatever. Because I grew, as I said, I grew any and anything that I could. So I had to use something to help me cope because, as I said, I found that I was agitated, I was irritated, I was angry, I was, just everything all over again. My sleep interrupted, the ringing in my ears, the everything that was happening from before that slip and fall was happening again. And that slip and fall helped to amplify it and just send me back. But as I said, there's going to be times if you do get re injured, it's going to awaken like sleeping dogs kind of thing. So what you thought was put to rest is all of a sudden jumping up now. And it's going to be like, hey, I'm here now. How you do? I'm coming to disturb your peace now. That's what's taking place. But I did get better from there. And so I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful. You got to persevere. I'm just looking at my notes here to see if there's anything I forgot. It's been a journey, y'all. I can tell you that it's been a journey, and it's not been an easy journey because I'm still experiencing these things. There's some things that has um, been put aside for me that is not happening like how it did when I first had my first was diagnosed with my brain injury, but things still happen, and that's the thing. It's like you have like residual, I guess. I don't know if that's the best word to use, but it's like you got that residual effect, that echo thing still happening. So, but as I would always tell y'all, if it is you or someone that you know that had a brain injury, not had, because it doesn't go away. It doesn't go away. It's like the color of my skin. It doesn't go away. I'm who I am, Black woman. I'll remain Black. You know what I mean? It doesn't change. So the brain injury is something that I think is going to be with me for life because it's been now 11 years and this has stayed with me. And, I'm able to identify, like when I see that I'm getting angry or I'm getting irritated, I know this is time for me to vamoose and be out. And I can go upstairs to my little sanctuary of my garden, and I will, I'll look to see how my little avocado is growing or how my mangoes is growing or whatever, And so I have I can't say it now, y'all. I have coping mechanisms that I use. And see, that's the same thing. Like when words get stuck in my mouth, um, I've had to practice. Okay, just take a breath and just say it slowly so that it can come out, right? So I've had to do that. As I said, practitioners, y'all. I've been to so many. It's not even funny, but it has helped. It has helped. And it, I hope you're going through with your practitioner so that it can help you, and just try and be positive, because being negative, you don't want to do that. You want to look at things as, okay, wasn't able, I'm not able to, say, walk from here to there unaided, but at least I'm able to walk. Like if you try and change your mindset, it would be of a big help for you. So, anyways, with that, I'm sure I've been yibber yabbering for a long time now, but I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired, y'all. So I will definitely say, please like, comment, subscribe, share this, and let me know if you are the one that's going through this. What have you been experiencing? I would love for us to have a community, because I personally did not see a lot out there. I more saw things like from, the doctor's point of view, and, they give a little touch on the patient, but that was it. I didn't see someone who's doing what I'm doing. And so I would really love for a community, because I'm sure there is astronomical numbers out there of brain injuries that we don't really know. So whether you got brain injured, concussed, because concussion, I believe, is still a brain injury. So whether you got in a motor vehicle, or, from sports or whatever, you fell down the stairs, you busted your head, whatever, it's still injury to your brain. And if we had a little community that we could come together and talk, and we'd be able to help one another. That's what I was looking for, because it's not easy being alone and experiencing all of this. Everybody else around you sees, yes, they can see the effect of how things is affecting you, but they don't really know, because internally they're not inside of you internally. So they don't know really what is going on, and they really don't know your internal struggles. They see your outward struggles, and you might verbalize some things, but there's a lot of things that you keep internally, because I'm speaking from experience, because you don't want to be a bother. That was my thing, because when you're an independent individual, you do not like being not dependent, but you don't want to feel like you're being a burden on people. And this is not a good mindset, because your family is there to support you, and they should be there to support you. Your spouse should be there to support you. I mean, if you are the one that is the supporting individual, you know, and then turn around now and you're looking for support and you're not getting the support that you need, it's not easy. But if you are the supporting individual and you get the support that you need, you feel good. So as I said, this is why I would love for this to be like an open thing where we can have like a community, and we can give each other words of comfort, say, oh, this is what I went through. Maybe you need to see this kind of a practitioner, or this is what I was going through, and this is what worked for me. And we can give each other, um, you know, just those encouraging words. Just tell them what worked for you, and it could work for you. You know what I mean? So that would be great. Anyways, I will take my leave now, really seriously this time, and I will see you all in the next video. And with that, I will say bye and see you again next time. Bye.